on the bottom line.
And here we go. It is Wednesday, June 8, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, bottom line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
I got to start off with saying, you look mighty good over there, man. I noticed you got it parted in the right way. You got it cut over there. You went to Lady Jane's. You walked in. You signed in. And they made you handsome, buddy.
I sat down, and before I knew it, I was handsome and clean.
Wicked awesome, man.
I'll tell you, there is something special about getting your hair did right before heading to the broadcast. And I have to give a shout-out to my girl Becca here. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Of course, you know that we broadcast from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, world headquarters in Birmingham.
World headquarters.
And it was nice. We did the pre-show video out there. Yep. I was getting my hair washed.
Some people got to work. You know what I'm saying? Some people have to work.
Yeah. Somebody had to work. Tom Mazawey, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up there, fellas?
I don't hear you.
Hey, Sam, thank you.
There it is.
I'm part of the show again now. I get to see you get your hair did. Nice job. You look like Robin the Boy Wonder from Batman 66.
I'm telling you.
You look great.
It goes to a confidence thing as well, right? I mean, you look good, you feel good, you project confidence. I will say as well, I slept in today.
Oh, look at you.
Nice. What's that, 6 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7.
Okay.
So I got to 7 today. Off from the television station for a couple of days. Originally, I was going to go to Chicago. I was going to take the bride to Chicago. I was off here, too, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Welcome back.
But I kept the days off there. I wanted to come be with you guys today. And then, of course, tomorrow we're going to be out there at the Cars and Cigars event at Freedom Hill. That's a huge, huge deal over there, benefiting the Chelani Foundation. So we'll be out there tomorrow at Freedom Hill. A lot of the heavy hitters in the area, if you will be on hand.
What heavy hitters?
I went there a couple years ago, man. It's a great event. It's a great put on. I met with these guys randomly at Churchill's and got to talking, and they invited me out, and I popped in, and it's a great event. So doubling back this time, actually in a working environment, should be a lot of fun.
It will be fun, and Maz, you'll be out there as well tomorrow.
2 to 5. We're going to extend the show tomorrow.
Yeah, we are going to extend the show tomorrow by an hour. We'll feature the event because there's a lot of great things happening out there, and we'll tell you more. Want to give you a quick update on the Tigers game right now. Bottom of the 5th. It is 1-1 Tigers and Pirates. On the mound today, Alex Faedo. Another good quality start out of him so far, I guess. You can't really have a quality start.
How about Tarek Skubal last night?
He is.
He's a real deal, man.
He is not only the real deal. I mean, he's a legit ace that this staff can look forward to for the next 8 to 10 years, I'd say.
God bless him.
You know, and then bad news on Casey Mize and Braylon. This is something that you have some history with or a little bit of experience with. You know, Casey Mize felt some discomfort again. You know, it's all trending towards having Tommy John surgery. But for an athlete, for an organization, at what point do you just pull the plug and say, okay, I'm going to have this surgery now and not wait, weeks or months, or you've done so much to avoid the surgery. At what point for an athlete do you just say, you know what, I'm going to get the surgery and I'm going to take care of my body and then be on the road to recovery?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's when you really rely on you as an athlete, trusting your body, knowing your body, kind of going with the motions of that. And also, that's when you have an agent. That's where you have your agent, your representation for. Everybody thinks an agent is just there to get you paid. An agent is there to make sure that you maximize your payment plan for the entirety of your career. As long as you want to play ball, an agent is there to give you advice, to say, hey, this is what we need to do if this is where you want to be. If you want to be here, we have to do these things. And I think this is where your agent comes in and says, hey, look, Casey, look, I think this is the best time now. Get the surgery. You will provide yourself with an extensive career if you do it now. The more and more you wait, surgeries don't fix everything the longer you wait. When you do damage, when you start doing damage to you start doing nerve damage on top of tendon damage, on top of ligament damage, those things don't repair easy. It's not like bone. Bone is the easiest thing to replace. You break a bone, bone heals, you're good to go. Tendons, ligaments, nerve damage, when you start messing with those things, no telling what the process could be for a return to 100%. So I would start messing around with. If I was his agent, that would just be the conversation I would have. Look, I want to get you paid for years to come.
Right.
Not even about money. I want you to have the kind of career that you want. I want you to be playing long into your career. I don't want you to do a disservice to yourself and you wanting to be a professional player by trying to play on it now. I mean, look what happened last year with Baker Mayfield. I'm not using that as the exact.
It's a great point.
Exact. But Baker, if he would have just had it taken care of earlier, he'd be in a much different situation than he is now. So you want to take care of that before you put it on yourself.
And it never really gets better, Maz, without surgery, right? I mean, how many instances have you ever seen a player just kind of get better all of a sudden without the surgery?
There must be a few instances. Otherwise, they would just do the surgery.
Yeah.
The first day
Can't
and gets
think of
discomfort. So who knows, man? It's happened to all of them. Didn't Jeremy Bonderman go through this years and years ago?
And it was a years-long process.
And that's what happened. So going into 2009 season, this would have been my 5th season with the Cleveland Browns. It was actually my last year. I had some ligament damage in my ankle, and I set out of minicamp right before the minicamp. I rehabbed all off season, or not all off season. I rehabbed from the minicamp until it was time to start camp. And then when I got to camp, still wasn't right. So then we go to the doctor. Eric Mangini told me I had to go to the doctor. So the staff, they take me down to the Cleveland Clinic. The head is Anthony Miniacci, so Tony Miniacci. And he says this. He says, plainly put, Maz, he said, you got one of these ligament ankle injuries. It's kind of like, how much pressure can you stand? So maybe you can rest another 2 weeks and then come out, and how much pain can you tolerate? Or we can give you surgery now and you'll be out for 6 weeks. But when you come back, you'll be a much different player and you won't have to worry about feeling the pain or playing through the pain. Well, you know what? It was a contract year and I chose not to get the surgery. I chose to big boy it and dog it out. I don't know if I would have done that nowadays in these climates in 2022. You're talking 2009. I chose to play for it. It was a contract year, and I didn't know what was going to be the next move. You had a new coach in Eric Mangini. I didn't know what he was thinking. Was he trying to replace me? So I played it out, got traded to the Jets. It worked out, but that ankle hurt. It hurt that whole year. It hurt. That next year, 2010, it hurt. And in 2011, it hurt as well. So if I could do it all over again, I would have had the surgery and took the 6 weeks.
Yeah, and it's got to be one of the hardest decisions you can make for a player or a player and their family and an organization can make, because on one hand, you've been working your whole life to finally be in the show. Here you are, and you get hurt. Yeah. It sucks. And if you get this surgery, we'll see you in 24, right? I mean, it's not even a question of if you can come back. It's not like an ACL where you come back in 8 months or 10 months nowadays. Tommy John is a 1.5 year long surgery, essentially.
I mean, these pitchers today, they're getting Tommy John surgery earlier and earlier. Yeah. It's almost like, just give it to me, even though my shoulder don't hurt. Yeah, just give it to me.
Because once you have it,
you look. I think you're good.
Right?
It's like rookie of the year.
I don't really know what it does. I really don't know. I wish someone could tell me what it actually does to help.
I think an ignorant answer. I think it just tightens up whatever that spin motion, that rubber band
Sounds good
motion.
to me.
The rubber band motion of you throwing the ball upwards of 100 miles an hour. I think it tightens that rubber band up and allows you to do that again.
Hey guys, not so much the story of the day, but it is a story that intrigued me a little bit today that I saw, and we got hint of this weeks back. But Drew Brees out at NBC after 1 year, and there are two aspects to this. One, it just goes to show you that broadcasting is not easy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think it's going to be easy for Tom Brady either. I don't think that Tom Brady is going to come in and be a Tony Romo type guy. I just don't. And I love Tom Brady, and he's had more success than anybody. But I think Brady is going to really have some growing pains in the booth. That's one aspect. And as we related to Brady, Braylon, I think Tom Brady coming back to play football this year has given Drew Brees a little bit of a
knife,
a dig, a push. And I'm telling you, the Saints might want to lob off a call.
I mean, you bring up a good point. You're talking about a team that they still have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers number, no matter if Brady plays, no matter if he doesn't play, no matter if Drew Brees plays, no matter if he doesn't play. Whatever it is, the New Orleans Saints can beat the Tampa Buccaneers. Now, with that being said, you're right, man. Getting into that booth, everybody thinks it's just easy. Oh, they're quarterbacks. They're the position that knows the most about football. They can easily transition like a Tony Romo did, and others have done. It's tough when you get in there because now you got to speak the game in layman's terms. You got to pick your spots. And one thing about Tom Brady is He likes to F with people.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady, he's starting to loosen up since he left New England. He's a lot of little digs out here. You see when he was golfing with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, he had a lot of little digs, and it's fun. But when you get on there in the national broadcast, you can't be digging on players like that. You can't keep throwing digs out there. So to your point, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Going back to Breeze. I mean, Breeze is younger than Brady, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
I think Breeze is a year and a half or just maybe a year younger. I don't know. His boys are old enough too. His wife seems like she would be okay with that.
It's so hard to put the game down. It's so hard to put the game down.
When you've been operating, it's hard to put the game down when you've operated. Two reasons why. When you've operated at a level like Drew Brees and Tom Brady, that's a different level. They've operated at a level that is the best of the best of the best for a very long time. It's hard to just walk away. And the second part of that, it's hard to walk away, and this is a 1A, 1B. Either one, an injury, or two, it didn't go how you wanted. And it didn't go how Tom wanted. He got beat by Matthew Stafford. His team was hurt all year. There was a lot of ups and downs. He had some injuries in there. So he's looking at it like, you know what? It's a lot of meat left on that bone. I'm supposed to come back. I wasn't supposed to go out losing to Matthew Stafford. On the other end, you look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees went out because of an injury. He had 6 cracked ribs.
Yeah.
He had some internal bleeding that happened.
And couldn't get the ball down the field in that
Exactly.
final. I mean, I think he completed 6 passes the entire season over 20 yards.
And so that exactly. So just think about him staying up at night. Last year doing something he didn't want to do. He didn't want to be with NBC. He wanted to be in the NFL. He's staying up late at night, looking at the ceiling, think about what could have been, what could be. Am I done? Do I have something left? Do I have something to prove? Is this the way I want to be remembered? The hell with everybody else. Is this the way I want to be remembered in the NFL? I don't think so.
It's something to consider, and I'm not sure that age matters anymore.
Nah.
I mean, I'm really not. That's something we can explore.
Well, if you can't throw anymore, that matters.
But that's due to injury. Maybe that was due to injury. I don't know. You know, he played that last.
Well, how about Ben Roethlisberger? He couldn't throw anymore.
But you got to take care of your body, though.
Ben Roethlisberger didn't take care of himself.
Right.
We saw Drew Brees always working out with himself, with his kids, with his team. Like, Drew's a guy that works out all the time, so his was specifically those injuries, those cracked ribs in that labor room.
Well, hell, if he could do anything, he put them on the map in a minute because they are ready.
Yeah, no doubt. Big show for you guys today. We have another defector. Two defectors to the Live Golf League, leaving the PGA Tour. I'm
gonna see if they want my services.
Yeah,
that money that they're throwing around, I keep my golf clubs in the trunk.
NBA Finals continues tonight. We've got a new ESPN mock NBA draft out. They've got a Pistons taking somebody that I like, and a player slipping that you may have heard before, Deshaun Watson. Boy, he is in the news. We've got a lot to get to today on a busy Wednesday in the city of Detroit. Ermanni and Edwards, but first a message from Guardian Alarm. They are your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. Whether your home or your job, they're going to keep you safe and give you peace of mind. 24/7 local monitoring, making sure what is important to you is safe. All you have to do is make a phone call. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT right now. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Woodward Sports Network, glad to have you along on a Wednesday. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We got Fletch and Sam Flannel as well. If you are watching on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that like button. Helps YouTube push our content out to the rest of the universe. Also, we are less than 200 subscribers away from 26,000 on that platform. And we certainly appreciate all of you who have already subscribed.
We're kicking it on Twitter, too, I just noticed. It's going way up.
32,000 followers plus.
Wow.
On Twitter. I mean, little old Woodward Sports, baby. Here we come, and we're going to stick around for a while. I will say, if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, we will end those feeds right now and move exclusively over to the YouTube channel, Woodward Sports on YouTube. I mentioned two de factors from the PGA Tour. Braylon, two more are gone.
Yeah.
And two more major champions. Bryson DeChambeau, Patrick Reed, reportedly defecting from the PGA Tour to the new Live Golf International Series, and they might not be the only ones.
Yeah, they won't be the only ones. And, you know, the big thing about it is you listen to Phil Mickelson. He finally went public. He finally had a speech. He finally sat down and talked with reporters, and he had this long thing that he talked about. And, you know, I kind of deciphered through some of it. But it's more so the messenger. A lot of times what happens is it's the messenger that relays the message that you don't listen to. You look at Phil Mickelson, you see the comments that he made about Saudi Arabia in the interim period of when he was first starting to deal with Live, and so everybody's kind of turned him off. But he said there are deeper issues at play with the PGA and Monahan, who's the commissioner of the PGA right now. I think that's the right word. I could be wrong. But saying there's some underlying issues that they haven't changed, that they are sticklers on. They do things very sneaky behind closed doors. And I think he's saying that the PGA players have known about this for a very long time. And if you don't have leverage, if you're not one of the guys that they talk about consistently, if you're not a Tiger Woods, if you're not a Phil Mickelson, if you're not one of these guys or Dustin, you don't have that leverage. So you're seeing guys leave. Like when you saw Phil initially, it's easy to look at Phil Mickelson and say, oh, well, he owes $40 million in taxes, or he owed $40 million in gambling debts, or et cetera, et cetera. But now you're looking at other ones. You're looking at a Dustin Johnson, who's 37 years old and at the top of his game. He's leaving to go to the Live tournament. You look at Patrick Reed, who won the Masters 4 years ago, I do believe, and that he's a young guy. You look at Sergio Garcia, who's another guy, very, very calm, chill individual. He's leaving. He's another guy with 2 Masters. So you're looking like, what's the point? And you're starting to realize some of this stuff that Phil Mickelson is talking about is a real deal. You see these guys wanting to jump and take the money. But also, if guys are leaving now, they're still able to play on the majors because the majors aren't a part of the PGA.
In fact, on Tuesday, the USGA said it would not prevent players from the Live events competing in the U.S. Open. If you qualify for the U.S. Open, you are able to play in the U.S. Open, which is 5 days after the Live tournament this weekend.
Here's my thing. Here's my question. If you sign a deal for, let's just say, a 3-year deal for $300 million or whatever, I'm just making that up, but I don't think I'm
sounds about right.
I was just about to say I don't think I'm too far off, man. If you play for 3 years in this league and then want to come back, who's to stop you? Like, what's the big deal? I want to go over there. I want to make this coin, and then I want to come back. I want to have a chance to win some green jackets down the line. I want to have a chance to win some U.S. Opens down the line. But right now, while I'm in my prime, I want to have a chance to win $300 million and $400 million. I hate when people say stuff like, oh, they're greedy. Oh, they're greedy. They already have money. When you start throwing around money like this, $300 million, $250 million, $400 million, this is what you call life. This is generational times generational type wealth. Look at the individuals that started making money in the 1800s, the early 1900s. Their money has lasted through the times. Their kids. You saw the Walmart group. They just purchased the Denver Broncos. That's because they got money that their parents established in 1800s or their family. So I think it's the same type of money like that. Give me $300 million. Let me do 3-4 years in this Live Golf tournament. Hey, PGA, I'll be back in 5 years. And guess what? Dustin Johnson in 5 years, guess how old he is? 42. Not that old.
Justin Thomas went on today, and he won the PGA a couple of weeks ago. And he said basically what we said yesterday. How do you tell somebody that you can't do something? It's up to you. If you want to do it, you go ahead and do it. It's not like you don't have to hate the person. He said Dustin Johnson's still going to be his friend. Doesn't mean just because he leaves the league, he's not going to like the guy and hate him. And he talks about the way social media is. If you don't like a guy, you don't like what he's doing, all of a sudden, in this day and age, we have to hate on somebody. Instead of just hating on somebody, it's their business. They're not doing anything to you and your family. They're just playing the game they love, that they're blessed, that they're so good at, and they're making, like you said, Bray, generational wealth. And I have no issue with it.
And Pat McAfee said today, and basically echoed almost to a T what I said yesterday, in that the selective hypocrisy for this league is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Pat McAfee said the same people who are being hypocritical and showing outrage at these players for taking Saudi money are probably doing that on their Apple iPhone.
Yeah, there you go.
And they're complaining on their Twitter app, who Twitter, by the way, prior to Elon Musk owning Twitter and buying all those shares, Saudi Arabia had the most shares of Twitter. So they essentially, they essentially owned Twitter.
Yeah.
So they're using Twitter on their Apple iPhone, wearing their Nikes. So the selective outrage, please.
And it is funny, too. Like, I give you an example. When players aren't good in the NBA anymore, or people on Twitter, on social media, or people on the radio or on podcasts or simulcast, when they think a player isn't good, I give you an example, like a Kyle Kuzma. What's the first thing they say? Hey, good luck over in China. Because they're being funny, saying that you're going to have to go to another league and make some money because you can't cut it in the NBA. So here's a league that now exists that's offering more money than, essentially, obviously it's not the NBA, but more money than its counterpart, which is the PGA. And now it's a problem. I'm saying, no, don't go over there. You should feel terrible going to another league that competes against the American League if that's what you're thinking. I'm telling you like this, man. That selective hypocrisy, the selective hypocrisy is amazing.
There's no doubt.
It's all fun and jokes until there's like, oh, you know what? I actually do want to leave. I do want to go somewhere else. Oh, boo, you shouldn't do that. Don't let him back. I don't get it.
And McAfee took it one step further, too. He said, why do you have such outrage? Because the actual individual is making the money now instead of the company, right? I mean, how many times do companies and shareholders and this and that big business get to make money on all of these different entities? It's all blood money. Not all of it, but most of it is blood money.
Hey, man, what's the transfer portal? I know it's amateur athletes, but everybody is picking their school. Those kids are picking their school whenever the hell they want it now.
I disagree with that one, Maz, because literally these countries are killing people. I mean, Saudi Arabia is killing
there's people getting killed
journalists. Here. I understand that, but I think the transfer portal doesn't.
Fine. I'm just saying.
But you know what? There is something to what Maz is saying. Like on a smaller scale, he's more so saying like they may be leaving an institution like a Michigan and Notre Dame that you think is an upstanding individual, and they transferring to one of these schools like a Texas A&M or like a USC, where you think there's a lot of things under the radar being done wrong. So I see what he's saying. It's much different than killing, but it's still you transferring from one school. Now you got another school paying you a ton of money, and they're doing things that are completely worse than what they're doing. So I understand what Maz is saying. I think so.
Yeah, I understand. I don't want to make light or just totally poo-poo the fact that the Saudi government is killing people out there. But at the same time,
there's a lot of governments
killing people. So is the Chinese government. So is the United States government. You know, so let's.
You don't have to tell me.
So let's just, go ahead and quit it with the selective outrage. And I am one of those people that loves this country. However, I'm not going to be.
Let it come back. Like I said, it's a 1-year deal, it's a 2-year deal, it's a 3-year deal. So what if you leave, you go make some money, you come back? Like, just everybody pump the brakes, because nobody was even talking about golf on our group chat until this thing came up.
Can we have a little fun before we get serious?
I'm ready.
I'd like to talk a little NBA next. I'd like to talk a little bit of Game 3 of tonight's NBA Finals, and I'd like to talk about the Pistons. In a couple of weeks, they're going to get a nice player.
3 weeks away.
Yep, they're going to get a nice player. Who that player is, we don't know. There is some differing viewpoints on.
I love how you said let's talk about the Finals, and then you said let's talk about the Pistons. I was like, wait.
But that can still be fun. It's fun being general manager, right?
That's right.
We'll get into some lines. We'll get into some NFL, too. A lot of opinions changing on Deshaun Watson. Watson as well. More news regarding him. We'll do it all coming up next. But first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
You like golf? You like to drink? Well, guess what? Why don't you put the two together, get you a mulligan, and take a mulligan as well? That's right. Gypsy Vodka presents the Mulligan, 8% alcohol, and 3 different flavors, iced tea lemonade and strawberry lemonade as well. Home of the best vodka in Michigan. That's right, Gypsy. I said it. The best vodka in Michigan. Adam and Mike, you got one with this one. Now they present to you the Mulligan, where you don't even have to be at the golf course to take a mulligan. You could be in the backyard kicking it with your wife and family and the dog. Bring him to the party too. Mulligan by Gypsy Vodka. If you're going to drink, remember, always drink responsibly. Gypsy Vodka, the Mulligan.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Bedrock and Rocket Mortgage basically turned an old parking lot into a massive outdoor playground right next to campus marshes. It is open all summer long from Memorial Day through Labor Day. There will be basketball, roller skating, mini golf, art installations, live music, and food trucks. Free Wi-Fi so you can work from the park. It's free to enter the Midway, and most activities are free. You only have to pay for roller skating and for food. Each week there's family programming, live DJs, and music at the new stage and pavilion. The pop-up store will feature rotating Detroit businesses every week. It is a fun, safe event from people from the ages of 1 to 100 years old. For more information and Midway hours, go to deckedoutdetroit.com. Again, that is deckedoutdetroit.com.
NBA Finals Game 3 tonight in Boston on the parquet. Celtics 3.5-point favorites over the Wizards, over the Warriors tonight. And I'll tell you, I said in my game theory, Bray, I said Boston, Golden State, Boston, Golden State, Boston, and then Game 7,
Right.
Toss-up. So by that theory, that means that Golden State wins tonight,
Right.
but Boston is the favorite on their home floor. I'd say that's a pretty heavy favorite, too, 3.5 points in an NBA Finals game.
I agree with you that the Warriors are going to win tonight. I disagree with you about everything else because I think Golden State is going to win every game from here on out. I think they will close out 4-1. You can call me some type of nostalgic from back in the day, from 2015 when they won their first one. But I just view it differently. I think that they have won Game 2. They lost Game 1. And they haven't had anybody else step up for them yet. Now, Andrew Wiggins is playing decent. I think Andrew Wiggins had 20 in the first one. He's averaging 15 in the series. Draymond isn't scoring any points. Clay has yet to come out. But we know statistically, and this is even before Clay's injury, if you look at all the finals that they've been in, Clay never played well in the first 2 games. Clay is Mr. 3 to the rest of the series. Like, he's always played that way. So look for Clay to come out this game. Look for him to step out that shell. Look for him to ball this game. Because I guarantee you, Steph has had that conversation with him like, look, you're still Clay. And I guarantee you guys have had it, and he's even talked about it, looking at YouTube, watching the ball go in some of those bigger moments, watching that 3 ball go in, watching himself in some of these finals of the past where they have 3 rings, 2 with KD and 1 before KD got there. Also, the Boston Celtics have not done a good job of having home court advantage in the NBA Finals. I mean, in the NBA playoffs so far year. They're 5-4 at home. That's no type of advantage. That is no type of advantage. And also, I didn't get the chance to talk with you guys on Monday. What you saw out of Draymond Green, how he started that game going after Horford.
Oh, what a prick.
But that's why he's great. That's why he's great. That's why they have their championships. That's why they, without Draymond Green.
What a jerk.
He is. But you know what? So is Dennis Rodman. And you love Dennis Rodman when you're a bad boy. You love Dennis Rodman if you're a Bulls guy. You love Dennis Rodman if you were a Spurs guy when he was doing 20 rebounds and no points. That thing with Draymond, and when he did that, he got after Horford early, and it went from Horford to Jaylen Brown to it went from Jason Tatum to Jaylen Brown to Horford. He got in those guys' head. That's when they're at their best, is when Draymond can have the Draymond effect, and you add Klay Thompson. I'm telling you, look for a blowout in Game 2. Game 3 tonight. Look for a blowout.
Listen, I want you to be right because I love the Warriors.
Vegas.
I'm telling you, it's Father's Day. It's going 7.
Yeah.
It's going to be Father's Day. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they'll drag this damn thing out till Father's Day.
Maz, you are so funny. Do you know why you are so funny?
Why?
Because you pick these things out, okay? You pick these things out that you rally around, okay? Father's Day is one of those.
Yeah.
Father's Day, he is convinced that because Game
Jordan.
7 lands on Father's Day.
Michael Jordan.
No matter what happens, this is going 7. Also, you know what else you did this with? The Lions. The Lions win total. 5, 6, or 7. Those are your only options because the over-under is 6 or something like
6
that.
and a half.
Vegas ain't going to be that wrong.
That's
he
it.
does that a lot, this
Tigers.
guy.
He does.
78, 79,
Well, I told you they're going to be
or 76.
I told you
That's
they're going to
it. You got it?
The Celtics to play, they have been really good in the playoffs, but I'm telling you, it's something that clicked. It's something that clicked in Game 2. And obviously you can say that, you know what, they stole Game 1, so mentally they were already prepared in the start of the fourth quarter to let that game go because it was over. And I get some of that. I get that basketball already. Well, we stole one. We came out here to accomplish our job, but I don't buy it. I don't fully buy it. I think in Game 2, they saw the team that they were scared to play. They saw the team that, oh, shoot, well, at least one player. And then Jordan Poole starts to step up. You think Klay Thompson is going to let Jordan Poole steal his team from him? He's already heard all the stuff like Jordan Poole's here. Now Klay can go over there with LeBron. Now Klay can move here. They'll move Klay here. He's heard that since before he got back. And now he's watching the guy hit a half-court shot. Now he's watching Jordan Poole and Steph celebrate at the half-court like they used to. I'm telling you, mark Klay down for a 28-point game tonight.
Listen, you weren't here on Monday, and I wanted to talk to you. I wasn't here on Monday. I've never
and you still wanted to talk to him.
I've never seen a game like I did on Sunday. That game, and I knew, and I told you guys, bet the Warriors in the third quarter. I'm like, that's the best bet of the year.
Yeah, that's
because
real.
they were down at the half. I'm like, they're going to blow them out in the third quarter. And then for them to fall on their ass 40-16 in the fourth quarter at home, I've never in my life, and I've been watching the basketball since I was 9 years old, 51 years. I've never seen a collapse like that at home. That's why I don't think the Celtics are going to go away. They lost Game 2 because they had to. The Warriors had to win that game. Boston ain't going anywhere.
But they cannot get buried in these third quarters. Golden State has outscored their opponents in the third quarters by over 300 points this postseason.
That's
there
insane.
Is something about that third quarter that Golden State just turns on that switch. And it was reminiscent of the Pistons going to work. If it ain't rough, it ain't right. Well, if Golden State wants to mess around with these guys the first 2 quarters or in the fourth quarter, like they did in Game 1, it will be a long series.
Not only that, though, go back to the first game, Mass. Go back to the first game, Ryan. Look at how that first game was won. Look at how that first game was won. Kevin White,
I know,
5 threes.
Oh my
Al
God.
Horford,
Cover the
6
guy.
threes. Jason Tatum only had 12 points and 13 assists.
Yeah.
Once again, what did I always say he does? He hides in the corner somewhere. He disappears. He has not gotten to that superstar level as it relates to the playoffs and the finals yet. That's not going to happen again. You got Grant Williams making shots. Everybody was in on the party. That's not going to happen again, and you saw that. Where was Al Horford? Game 2. Where was Derek White, in Game 2? Where were these players at in Game 2? They were nowhere to be found because Draymond said enough is enough, and so did the defense of the Golden State Warriors. Mark my words. We can sit here and talk about stats all you want to. I know what I saw from Draymond in the first play of the game against Horford, and I know what I saw with Steph Curry, and I know what I heard from Steph Curry, and I know what you're going to see of Klay Thompson. These boys are going back to 2015.
I will tell you, I think this is one of the great tweets on the YouTube chat. Aaron Tackett, Golden State and Tampa Bay don't lose another game. Talking about the Lightning and the Warriors. And he might be right because, look, I think Boston's going to hang around, and I think inherently it's going to be a 7-game series because that's what I'm rooting for. Yeah. But if you saw what the Lightning did last night to the Rangers, and now the Rangers are miserable on the road. They're 8-1 at home this postseason.
They're going home, 2 out of 3.
And they are going home. But Tampa may win 4 in a row in this series. They may. Yeah. I don't think that tweet. Let's put it like this. if you had to give me odds on this tweet, Maz, what would you put that at? Golden State and Tampa don't lose another game.
10-1.
10-1.
Yep.
Wow. I almost think it's less than that.
You want it? I'll give you 10-1.
No, I don't play anymore.
Okay.
I'm done playing.
I'll give it to
Smart
Aaron.
man.
Aaron, you want 10-1 odds? I'll give it to you because one of them is going to lose. Both of them are going to lose.
For me, the big thing for the Celtics and the Warriors, like obviously it can go 7. Like if it goes 7, I won't be surprised because the Celtics have been the best defending team in the NBA this whole season. You know, they've been
and
playing.
Look what they had to go through, Bray. The Bucks and the Heat.
Yeah, they went through the Bucks with no Chris Middleton.
Yeah,
Still,
that's a different.
They went through the Heat with just Jimmy Butler and a bunch of guys.
But they're the best team in the league all year.
Well, Tyler Hero was injured. Tyler Hero was a 6-man a year.
That's a great point too. That changed the series.
So going back to this, the big thing for me is Jason Tatum. I just haven't seen a guy that wants to take over a series. I haven't seen a guy that is trying to inflict pain, or not inflict pain, but scare. He's not trying to scare the Warriors. Like he's not taking them out of any positions. He's not giving them putting them into shoot awkward shots or anything. Jason Tatum,
you got it.
I
understand.
In the NBA Finals, the best player on your team has to play the best ball.
Always.
And he's not doing it.
And just to go back to something
Jaylen Brown's playing
something
better.
that you said about going through the Bucks and the Heat, though, too. Every championship team exhibits a little bit of luck along the way, and that could be their luck, right?
No Chris Middleton, they still won 7 games with Giannis. Giannis was out there doing everything he could, and he just couldn't get enough from Drew Holiday, who was the only thing he had. And then obviously Jimmy Buckets. It was Jimmy and nobody else.
I want to get into this Pistons mock because there's a couple of different players coming up next that I think could help this team, and I want to get your take on it. But first, a message from my bookie.
That's right. Who you got tonight? It's the Golden State Warriors in Boston against the Celtics. Series tied at 1 apiece. The Celtics 3.5-point home favorites. Who you got? You're going to mybookie.ag and using the promo code Woodward. Why? Because they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 tomorrow. Tampa Bay in the Garden at the Rangers. That series deadlocked at 2, so it's a best of 3 now to get to the NHL Stanley Cup Final to play the Avalanche. Use that promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Glad to have you along on a Wednesday. Thanks for making us part of your day. We certainly appreciate it. Over 50 likes, and we certainly appreciate that as well. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Many different platforms you can get us, but this is a good one that we like to focus on because you can watch us and all that good stuff.
I still can't get over this John Elway thing, and I
Bring
know
it up.
we're talking about the NBA.
You want to talk about it now? Let's do it. We'll get into the NBA. This John Elway essentially just lost $900 million.
I feel it's
How
like
do you lose $900 million?
He essentially, and I know Maz and you guys can explain it, but he essentially took 15 to make 7 as opposed to taking 15 to make 900.
So here's the deal. After winning the Super Bowl and retiring in 1998, John Elway was offered a 20% stake in the Denver Broncos for $36 million. He declined that offer. Today, this was a tweet yesterday, today the Broncos sold to the Walmart family for $4.65 billion. Elway would have had a stake of $930 million.
What that doesn't tell you is of the $35 million that they wanted to get from Elway, they owed him 21. He only would have had to put up $14 million. They owed him $21 million. He had it coming to him in his contract. So Pat Bowlen said, just don't take your bonus that I'm offering you. Take this deal, and I'll let you out in 5 years if you want out with no penalty. Plus, I'll give you $5 million.
How do you get past that in your life?
I don't think you do.
I don't think you can. Like I don't seriously think you can, because and this is why. If you're not an individual that's a smart business person, and even if you are a smart business person, you because John had a bunch of car dealerships out there in Denver and across the nation. So he's a guy that is a smart business person. If you're not, I still don't think you can get past it. If you are, you know interest rates. You know what this could have done in the future. You knew the state of the team. You knew eventually somebody was going to purchase this team. You knew the money was going to know. You knew all these things, but you saw the right now, which he's not the only one that has ever seen right now. Look at Magic Johnson with the Nike deal.
That's
Look at
the
a ton of
worst.
it. Spencer Haywood's another one with the Nike. So a lot of people have seen the right now. But the difference is those people at the beginning of their careers. You're talking about a guy that was at the end of his career, guy that was a seasoned vet as it relates to business deals. For him to not make that move and to sit there and look at it as he's still currently with the Denver Broncos in the front office as a president, man, if I was his family, I would leave him the hell alone for the next 6 months.
Now, the deal is he is not hurting. He's got a net worth of about $145 million.
Doesn't matter.
Pretty good. But can you imagine
Could have been a billionaire.
9 times that? 9 times that.
If you have $140 in your pocket right now, but you should have had $900 in your pocket right now, it's a big difference. There's a lot more you can do with $900 than versus $140. And he has money. His kids are well off. His wife is good. All that stuff is good. But the situation could have been a lot better.
Kind of sickens me a little bit.
How do you turn down an NFL team for free, basically?
You don't know. You
don't know what you don't know.
You suck at business.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know, and greed. Give me the $20 million up front that you owe me now.
20% stake in an NFL team.
Remember, and he did, to Elway's credit, he did turn that $20 million into $140 million. Yeah. You know, just with his business dealings. But remember the old game show?
I'm not trying to cut you off. I just don't know if I could give him that.
You can cut me off all you want. I like a good discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then hush then. I'm cutting you off.
Don't forget what you were going to say, though.
I like a good back and forth.
I can't give him that excuse, and the excuse is this. You know, I played in the NFL, and I play, and I know how much money those owners have. I know how teams work. I know. So, like, if Woody Johnson, who's the owner of the New York Jets, if, let's say, my career was over, when it was over, Woody came to me and gave me a deal like that. Now, obviously, these are only for quarterbacks. But if Woody would have given me a deal like that and said, "Hey, Braylon, we owe you this, but we want to give you that," in my mind, instantly, I'm like, I know what teams are worth. I know what happens to teams. Their money goes up every year. The percentage rate of a team being their net worth goes up every year. I know that teams always come to the table again to maybe sell the team, like they're doing now with the Denver Broncos. My mom would have not let me take the money up front. And even myself, even in my young youth, and I still was out partying and having a good time, I still would have said, you know what? If I take this 20% deal in terms of ownership of the New York Jets, that's a lot more partying when I'm 42.
Stan would not have let you do that.
Hell no.
No, here's what I don't know. This wasn't a deal offered in 1975 or 78 when you really don't know what's going to happen with the NFL. It's not a gamble. Like, back then, you don't even bat an eye. You know what? I'm not sure if the NFL is gonna become what it is. That's fine. But in 1998, man, it's like still a cash cow. What are you doing, John Elway? But on the other side of things, and I'm just kind of playing this scenario out, help John Elway out a little bit, because I did say he parlayed a $20 million check into $140 million. Pretty good. Not $900 million, but pretty good. Remember the old game show? Deal or No Deal?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, of course.
It was a great game show.
We had a friend called Pilar last
That's
on
right.
that team.
Pilar was on there. There was a time, and it was like the first week or two it was on. There was a scenario where a guy had 2 briefcases left.
Mm-hmm.
There was a $5 and a $500,000 briefcase out there. And
the offer?
They offered him like $185,000?
No, the offer was $250,000.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
And he's contemplating not taking the deal. Playing it out and using the suitcase. But you've got your family, or you've got 3 people who are there giving you advice to help you out on what you should do. So he's sitting there like, I don't know. I think I got the $500,000 in my suitcase.
Right.
I think I got the $500,000 in my suitcase. And this one guy, I think it was his brother, gets on his hands and knees.
Begs him.
Hank! Guy's name was Hank! Take the deal.
Money. Yeah.
We can turn $250,000 into $500,000.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing with no $5.
I love that.
And it's real.
That's
and
real.
he ended up taking the deal, and he ended up having $5 in the case.
Mama.
So, moral of the story, John Elway, he took the safe bet and bet on himself. So it did work out for him. Now, again, $145 million isn't $900 million, but at the same time, he did okay for himself.
You know what sucked about, not sucked, because the show was great. I had a friend of mine that was, well, she wasn't on the show. She was one of the Briefcase Girls. Claudia Jordan, what up, though? Is they also offer you, when they say, do you want to make a deal? Then they also offer you that last one when you say, no, I want the money. They offer you a chance to switch the cases.
Yeah.
That caught a lot of. I saw one of those episodes where a guy had like $1 million, and he had it was like $1 million or $20,000, something like that. And then he said, "No, I'm going after it," and he switched the case. And the $1 million was in the case he switched from.
That's sick.
Oh my God!
Listen, what was I just going to? John Elway got back into the bidding for this team.
Yeah.
So he like it got worse. He tried to actually buy the team after all of this mess. The only reason the team was ever for sale is because Pat Bowlen got sick and died, and his family's
a disaster.
Is a disaster. They had to sell because nobody sells an NFL team unless you have to.
Right.
Especially one that has 3 Super Bowls. Not
Correct.
a team and has as much
The Denver Broncos?
history of the Denver
Come on,
Broncos.
man.
Like, you don't sell a team like that. You'll sell, Detroit Lions if you weren't the Ford family.
Yeah.
But, you don't sell the Denver Broncos. The interesting thing about it is this going to be the first time that a family owns 2 NFL teams?
Say what?
Partially, if you allow me to take you on the journey, because Stan Kroenke's wife is a wall.
You're right.
She's a wall. Like, she's a wall, and this is the other wall.
So they got the Rams and Broncos.
So they got the Rams and Broncos. And it's funny because
NFC, AFC.
And it's funny because guess what basketball team Stan Kroenke owns?
The Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets.
Oh my God. That's great.
I told you, come on this journey with me.
You ever hear about the Vince McMahon Stan Kroenke beef?
No.
Oh my God.
I can't remember. I did hear about it though.
Hates Stan Kroenke. Oh, like what? Challenged him to a fight?
Oh my. I don't want to fight Vince McMahon.
Oh man, no. Apparently, Vince McMahon, and I think it was the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
No, excuse me, the Denver Nuggets. Years ago. Vince McMahon booked the WWE to be on a Monday Night Raw in Denver, but then Stan Kroenke had his Nuggets playing a playoff game, so it said you can't use our arena.
It was the PepsiCo Center back then.
Yeah, it was, and oh man, you do not mess with Vince McMahon. He wanted him jailed, stoned.
I tell you like this, ask Ted Turner about that.
Yeah.
You don't mess with Vince.
Exactly. So Google that story. Vince McMahon
That's
hates
pretty good.
Stan Kroenke.
There's a lot of NFL owners that hate Stan Kroenke too.
Exactly. Guys, I want to get back to the NFL, the NBA draft that's happening in a couple of weeks. New mock came out. I love these things. And again, take it for what it's worth. I do think you can peg it a little bit easier than the NFL draft. And then we'll get into Deshaun Watson, top of the hour, 3 o'clock here.
Oh, my God.
Crazy stuff with Deshaun Watson. We'll do that all next. But first, a message from SMA.
That's right. The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesports.com or thesportsma.com if you have any concerns. Anybody that you know might need some answers as it relates to these issues of addiction, as it relates to mental health issues as well. Just go to thesportsma.com. They are here to help. Sean Jordan and NFL alumni do an amazing job. Once again, thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
When you need apparel, there is only one place to go, Big Frog Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4BIG-FROG. That is 844-4BIG-FROG. And I'll give you the name of the website again. That's bigfrog.com/Novi.
Just saw a stat on ESPN. We mentioned the Warriors in the third quarters. So the Warriors have outscored Boston in the third quarter in games 1 and games 2 by 35 points, combined 35 points. The Celtics have won all other quarters by 28 points. So they've really dominated 3/4 of the games in 1 and 2.
Is that because of the coach, you think, at halftime?
I don't know.
Steve Kerr making some
adjustments
moves?
are you making?
I don't know. Or is it like Klay Thompson and the guys and Steph Curry saying, "Hey, look, guys, we're getting embarrassed out there." That's the way I looked at it in game 1. That's why I said I'm putting I had $150 left in my account and I just doubled it down. I'm like, they're not losing this quarter. There's no way.
Crazy.
I don't know, man. It's definitely halftime adjustments, but at the same time, I just think it's a will. I just think Steph Curry. I think Andrew Wiggins. I think it's Draymond Green. I just think it's their will. They have been in these moments. Like, let's not take that for granted. This is the 6th NBA Finals that Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Andre Iguodala have played in. This is the not Iguodala, but you get it. This is the 6th NBA Finals that they've played in. They've won 3. They've got a lot of championship pedigree experience in these moments. Not to forget Steve Kerr. I mean, with the Spurs as a coach, with the Spurs as a player, and then with the Bulls as a player, it's so much championship pedigree coming out of that halftime. They just come out and they bring it like no other.
Guys, I want to get into some Pistons talk now. New mock draft came out yesterday. I'd like to discuss it. You want to do the Yahoo or here's the this is the Yahoo one. Yes.
Yep.
The Yahoo one, Jabari Smith number 1, Chet Holmgren 2, Paolo Banchero number 3. That's kind of what we've seen over the course of most of these mock drafts, where a lot of people believe Chet Holmgren is the clear-cut best player in the draft, but everybody's got Jabari Smith going number 1. And then at 4, the Sacramento Kings taking Jaden Ivey. At 5, there's that name, the Detroit Pistons taking Shaedon Sharpe, the guard from Kentucky that really didn't play, that is the enigma of the draft.
Right.
Nobody really knows what kind of player he's going to be. You could project him to be a great player, but you really don't know. And then Keegan Murray is a name there at 6 that we hear a lot about. So I think a lot of people would be okay with this. I would be okay with this because, again, I couldn't pick Shaedon Sharpe out of a lineup if he was sitting right here in Mass's chair.
This is real.
But enough people are saying, you know what, is worth a flyer. I want a great player there. I want a franchise-changing player there. If Shaedon Sharpe could be it, why not? I like it.
I think every sport is, every sport you use the word upside. Every sport you use potential. I think basketball is the biggest sport in terms of which that word is used. I think basketball is the one in which potential and upside actually do get you drafted that high. So as it relates to this, the fact that it's the NBA, I don't mind us taking Shaedon Sharpe at number 5, a guy that we couldn't pick out of a lineup because of the upside, because of things that the scouts, the people that know the game are talking about. But to look at that list, you're talking about Kristen Peaks, NBA mock draft, Jabari Smith. The reason why you see him number 1, even though Chet Holmgren actually has graded out higher than that, is because Jabari Smith's a solid 6'10".
And
he has a legit 6'10". He has a legit big muscle frame. He has a legit three-point shot. He can shoot the
Might be the best three-point shooter in the draft, to be honest.
Just about to say, he can shoot it, especially if he's at the top of the key. He doesn't miss from the top of the key. You saw that Auburn, you saw in the regular season, the SEC championship, as well as the Final Four tournament, March Madness. He can shoot the blood. He's 6'10", great size. That's what you want. people are scared of Chet Holmgren with that small frame. You hear Ryan Ermanni talk about it. You hear Maz definitely talks about it. So I think that's why you see Jabari Smith #1 and Chet Holmgren #2.
He's growing on me, though.
Shaden?
No, Chet.
Oh, Chet?
Chet's been growing on me. Like, I can't tell you. I don't know what it is about this kid.
I like Chet.
I like him a lot. I really like him a lot.
The biggest thing I like about him is not only can he shoot, not only can he play back to the basket, front you up, still young, still learning, still growing. But I like when people have I guess you could call them kids. I'm 39, he's 18, so he is a kid. I like when they have
half your age.
Good
know,
dude.
right? Dang.
Good attitude.
It just made me feel old. I like when they have these huge growth spurts because a lot of time guys start off as ball handlers. Pause. Like guys start off as point guards. Guys start off as dribbling. They know how to dribble. They set the offense. They get people involved. And then all of a sudden, here's 9 inches later, and now they're 6'11". Now they're 7 foot. Now you got a guy that's 6'11" and can handle the ball like a KD. KD wasn't always 6'11" or 6'10", 6'11". He started off small, had a spurt, and now he can handle the ball, do what anybody can do. That's the thing I like about Chet Holmgren. Is that spurt, now he's a big guy with the basketball fundamentals of a point guard.
Don't forget, Sacramento might not make that pick.
Exactly, no doubt. Let me get to the ESPN one because they have the first 3 are the same. Jabari Smith, Chet Holmgren, Paolo Banchero. At 4, they go Sacramento with Keegan Murray. We don't believe Sacramento's making that pick.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are either. 4, they've got Keegan Murray. And then at 5, my guy, Jaden Ivey. I love Jaden Ivey. If you could tell me that the Detroit Pistons walk away with either Jaden Ivey and or Shaden Sharp, I'm good. Call it a night. See everybody. I don't want Keegan Murray. I don't want Keegan Murray because I'll tell you why. He's a 6'9" player. We've got a ton of 6'9" players. You've got a ton of, but he reminds me of like a little bit. He's an offensive version of Beef Stew, right? Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart is a 6'9" guy. How many 6'9" guys can you have on your team? Give me the dynamic point guard in Ivy, or give me the dynamic slasher in Shaden Sharp. Keegan Murray to me doesn't do anything. Keegan Murray to me is like we're going to be okay. This is the absolute safest pick you could possibly have is Keegan Murray. Nothing for me, Keegan Murray.
If you had the third pick, number 3, who would you take?
Well, it depends on who's there.
I don't know, man. I've seen Banchero play. I really like him, but he's just so similar to Cade.
I got to tell you, you got to back up on that Keegan Murray a little bit. And the reason why I tell you back up is because, one, Keegan Murray can shoot. And Beef Stew's not a scorer.
Well, I know. It's an offensive-defensive thing. I'm just body type.
But body type, he's 6'9". He can shoot. He's a bigger guy, played in the Big Ten. Big Ten's more of a physical basketball conference. You need big guys. You need big bodies. You're going against this NBA now, the East. Just look at the Boston Celtics. Their whole roster is 6'10". Those guys are physical. The NBA, especially in the East, look at the Miami Heat. Look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Look at all these. Look at the Bulls. All these teams I'm naming you in the East that are playoff teams, they're long. They're big guys. They're physical teams. They're bigger teams. You're going to need a guy like Keegan Murray that not only is 6'9", he can shoot, because you need guys that you can depend on to hit open shots, knock down open shots. That's what the Pistons don't have. Outside of Cade, outside of Cade, when he's on, who really hits shots open? Who knocks down threes open? Who knocks down mid-range threes? They don't really have a guy.
Yeah, they don't. They have no shooters on their team. That's why
Sadiq Bey is like what you call a streaky shooter.
Yeah.
He'll get better. He broke Allen Houston's three-point record last year in terms of most threes made in the season. I think it was upwards of 240 or something like that. So we know he can shoot when he's on. He's a streaky shooter. Keegan Murray just gives you another guy that can knock down open shots, and he's 6'9", gives you a body.
Hey, Bray, I want to ask you about this guy. The YouTube guys are looking for Benedict. Is it Mathurin?
Mathurin.
Yeah. Tell me about him.
So Benedict Mathurin is really good out of Kansas. He going into the season, I saw the game Kansas played against, I want to say, Michigan State to open up the season. It was Kansas-Michigan State at the Garden. He can play. Like, he scores points in bunches. He can score with the best of them. Only thing about him, he disappeared a lot of times in big moments. Like, he can score with the best of them. Now, if you want to just go by scoring, he's probably the best scorer on that list.
Wow.
Like, he's probably the best scorer in terms of last year and what he did at Kansas.
What's his size?
Arizona, excuse me, not Kansas.
What's his size?
I want to say 6'6", 6'5", like 6'6", 6'5".
They got him going to the Pelicans there. Yahoo does, at least. Who's ESPN have him going to, Rye?
ESPN has who?
Matherin.
ESPN's got Shaden Sharp going 9 to the Spurs, by the way. 9.
Matherin definitely disappeared in the Final
I
Four.
don't actually have him on my list because I only have the top 10.
I'll be there.
Matherin, 11 to the Knicks.
Okay.
And that's part of it. You got a guy that can go out there and score 35, 38, but also he can come back and disappear when you play against a team and have 9 points or 7 points. That's why you see the inconsistency have him from not being in the top 5. He's more 8 to 11.
Guys, I want to get into the Deshaun Watson. This thing is going south quicker than I think I imagined. And it gives me pause. We'll let you know the latest coming up next. I'm curious to get Braylon's take on this as well. Maz, we'll have you jump in. Ermanni Edwards, hour number 1 in the books, hour number 2 moments away. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
In Hamtramck, of course, our good friend Chris Hunt, the inventor of this great game, football and bowling together. It's Foaling, 2 ways to play. It's $12, unlimited open play. Go right in the beginning of the day and stay till they close the doors. Or a private lane reservation for 10 or 12 of your closest friends. That costs you $120. But that's for 2 hours. You got it all to yourself. How about bringing your own food in, have it delivered? The bar is always open there. Over 100 beers they have to offer. The $2 mystery beer machine, they'll make any drink you need as well. So get your Foal on. Do it quickly. Go on to FoalingWarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait. It's 2 for $4. Got to double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
Right now, up until August 31st, any teenager between the ages of 14 and 19 can work out for free at any Planet Fitness location via the Summertime Pass. That's right. Teenagers between the age of 14 and 19 can work out for free at Planet Fitness via the Summertime Pass. That is a deal you absolutely cannot beat. But for anyone else, you can get your Planet Fitness membership for just $0 down and only $10 a month. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hour number 2 of the program. Thanks so much for being along with us on a Wednesday. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, the great Braylon Edwards, the 63rd most exciting player ever to play college football, according to Big Game Boomer. Braylon Edwards, that guy. And then, of course, the 63rd most famous radio person
journalist.
ever in the
There you go.
history of Detroit radio, Tom Mazawey.
Sounds about right.
That's on a list of 60.
Exactly. I'm also eligible. Just like Rich Strike in the Derby.
Right.
Uh-oh.
What's going on with
What's
that
going
race?
on with that?
Belmont's going on this weekend.
This weekend. Nobody even talks about it.
No,
We
there's
told
only
you.
8 horses going in the race.
Including Rich Strike?
Rich Strike is in there. And,
Doesn't even matter.
It don't matter. It's still going to be fun to watch for me. I don't know.
Why
It's
are there
just-
only 8?
It's one of those years, that's all. It's a tough race. It's a mile and a half. The horse goes through a lot in a mile and a half. They'll never run that again in their lives.
I'm just at this. I'm at this impasse because I'm just so bummed out that horse racing, like it was so on fire.
Yeah.
With the Kentucky Derby. I mean, you start off with a stacked heap. 20 horses in the Kentucky Derby. The 20th entry is some horse no one's ever heard of. It was purchased for $30,000. it enters literally a couple hours before the Kentucky Derby goes off. Not even in there to be in prop bets. Like, that's how new it was to the race. It wins, and then it doesn't do the Preakness.
Right. Only 8 horses run there.
And only 8 run there.
Yep.
Then here's the Belmont Stakes. Only 8 horses are running there. He's running again in Rich Strike. It could have been so great.
It's still going to be fun.
Now I really understand why you were pissed at the Preakness. Because now it lost a lot of luster.
Yeah, it did.
Guys, if you could hit that like button for us, we'd certainly appreciate it. Let's get to over 100 likes by the end of this segment, talking a little bit about Deshaun Watson. Braylon, before we get into it, I just want to ask your perspective, because there's just trickle, drip, drip, drip. I don't think he's going to play this year.
I think I'm sticking to my guns. Suspension for 6, an appeal to 4, and in week 5, he and Joe Burrow have a showdown. I understand things keep coming out. I understand now there's 66, and we can get into that, talking about how the NDAs, I explained today how that kind of works in terms of dealing with the facility and how the team signs off on those. But I don't think anything changes. Like, they can go with 20. What's the difference between 24 and 21? What's the difference between 30 and 21? Like, at this point, people are just tallying it up because it's easier to make the case, because the prosecutor, the attorney for these women is still trying to jack up these cases, jack up these numbers so they can go after him again. I just don't think 50, whether it's 50 cases, it won't matter.
Okay, so let's back this up here. The New York Times.
Because it's still no proof. It's still he say, she say.
24 times, though.
There is. So, Fletch, let's just go through this in what we have, in the order in which we have it. So, the New York Times comes up with this story, and we'll get there momentarily. But the New York Times puts out a list of 66 times that Deshaun Watson has had encounters with massage therapists.
He's reached out to 66 women in 17 months. 66 women in 17 months. Now, the team, the Texans, provided a venue for him and non-disclosure statements for the women to sign. And supposedly, there's a stipulation in his $230 million guaranteed deal that maybe the Browns can get out of this thing if they need to.
And they might be able to. So here's the deal. Of the 66 women that he hired, the 24 have sued him, including 2 that sued him within the last week. One woman who sued him but withdrew that complaint because of a privacy and security concern. 2 women filed criminal complaints against Watson but did not sue him. 15 of the 66 issued statements of support for Watson at his request and the lawyer's request. So basically, there are 15 women of the 66 that did not have a problem with him, and then the others did. Most of them did. Now, whether they filed a complaint criminally, civilly, whatever the case may be, some just wanted to stay out of it but said yes. Right. He was begging for oral sex. He begged me to put my mouth on his whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of it. All I know is that I think public pressure on the Browns is I don't know if the Browns expected this. Did the Browns expect this?
They didn't do their homework like they said they did.
I think they had to expect that, man. And I know it's the Cleveland Browns. I played in that organization. I know how they get down there. We can just leave it there. I have to believe they did enough to know that this was a possibility. This is 2022 in the real world. Like, this is 2022 in the social media world, and everything's put out there. They had to do enough due diligence. And the other thing about it is it goes back to, like I said, whether it's 21 cases or 50 cases, it's the same thing. It's a he say, she say. I had this individual come over here to give me a massage. I asked this individual, could she give me some head? She said no. You're not gonna. There's no legal case for that. You're not gonna win a case in court with that. It's like, oh well, I asked her, could she do a little extra? She said no. I said, my bad for asking. Let's move right along. I don't think you can change whether it's 50 cases saying exactly that. That's the same as 21 cases saying that. you can't prove there was any criminal, there wasn't any physicality, there wasn't any touching, there wasn't any grabbing, there wasn't any scare. You can't prove. Like, what can you prove?
I don't believe there's a criminal aspect to this right now. Is there a code of conduct aspect to this? What?
You don't think he's sexually assaulted by taking out his junk and doing his thing?
Well, technically, when you get a massage, you're naked anyway.
I understand, but
so your junk's already out.
He took the towel off for one of these, at least, women, and took care of himself as she was massaging his groin area.
So he was doing his thing while she was okay. Well, see, why was she still massaging then?
I don't know, bro.
Put
it this way: she ran away after that, crying.
Oh man!
Like, I didn't know about that one, but I'm like, why? Like, why would you stay if that's not what you intended to watch? I don't know. I'm not blaming her at all, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to get to the.
I'm just telling you, the guy
So
obviously.
let me ask you,
the guy has an issue. He's got issues.
The tough thing for the NFL is not in the job of trying to figure out what happened legally. They're the NFL. They're a football league.
Yeah.
Their job is to do what they did, and what they found out was there's no criminal charges. Like, so with the NFL, like, what do you do if you're the NFL?
So that's the part that I struggle with. And again, I'm an imperfect person. Okay,
we all are.
I have flaws. I have a lot of flaws. I'm just trying to figure out.
Flaws are the only thing that keep me together.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out. There was 2 grand juries that cleared Deshaun Watson criminally of all of this stuff. Does this make him a great guy? No. Does this make him a sicko? Maybe. Whatever the case may be. Is that a criminal act to ask for an extra service?
Yeah.
Is that a criminal act? And 2 grand juries said no. However, public pressure,
perception too,
is everything these days.
Yeah.
The public can get you fired if you, Tom Mazawey,
I know that,
say something that the public does not like. The public pressure could be so insurmountable on Woodward Sports that they have to get rid of you.
Goodbye,
they don't
Tom.
want to.
Goodbye, Tom Brenneman.
But they've got to get Tom Brenneman. Public support, public pressure made the Cincinnati Reds and Bally's or Fox Sports or whoever cave to say, you know what, you're not somebody we want to be with anymore, because the public pressure was so great to handle.
Even though we've been with your family for 60 years.
Right. We are to a point now, or are we at a point where the public pressure on the Cleveland Browns is such as though they just say, you know what, we're going to find a loophole in this contract and get ourselves out?
I want to bring another name up to you, too,
Can
as
you
we
wait?
come back.
Can you wait?
Yeah, you want me to drop the name now?
Yeah.
Trevor Bauer. I'm going to drop his name to you, and I'm going to explain to you something.
All right.
When we come back.
We'll get to that next, but first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located on Michigan Avenue in the great city of Dearborn. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. You got to make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. And, of course, Les Stanford also has over 350 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on them, so they're like brand new. You can also come on July 27th and check out that all-new Corvette Z06. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find
new road.
Find them.
Find them.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Hey, Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, Tigers cost us a little bit yesterday, but that's okay. We'll get back at some winners here in a second. But first, you guys got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at all the sports books right in the palm of your hand. So let's get back to that winner so we can make us some money. We're rolling with the up-down, win one, lose one theory in the NBA. We're all bouncing back with the Celtics here tonight, -3.5. Golden State 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games on the road. OddsTrader.com, Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Our friends at Alta Equipment
Is he doing every day now?
know that when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
My fault in there, Sam. My bad.
Alta.
My apologies, man. You can get me back on the Odds Trader, man. You can jump in anytime.
So, Maz, you brought up the name Trevor Bauer, Los
Yep.
Angeles Dodgers pitcher, who
made a lot of money, just like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
huge contract.
and was what was? Remind me of his story.
The story was he and his woman, a fan of his, had sex a million times. Rough sex. Both liking rough sex. Right. He got a little too rough with her, and she took him to court, and well, the court kind of threw the case out after a while. So there are no criminal charges against him. But MLB has not let him play. They keep
2-year suspension.
Well, they kept saying you're still paid, but you got to leave. Leave with pay. Leave with pay. Finally, 2-year suspension. That's one woman against him. Sexual relations,
right.
Consensual, that got a little too rough for her. He is persona non grata. Nobody wants to play with this guy, and the Dodgers sure as hell don't want to pay him the money because he got over $300 million as well. So now he's sitting out with no charges against him, suspended by MLB for 2 years. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson gets a $230 million guaranteed deal, has 24 civil cases against him, and all this other allegations. 66 women, 24 have put a case against him. And he's still practicing with the Browns, ready to go into the NFL season. There's a huge discrepancy between the two leagues.
Well, in one situation with Trevor Bauer, whether it was consented or it was consented or not, it still was physical touch. It still was aggression. It was over the top. You can see marks were made and things of that nature. So there's proof of touching. There's proof of physicality. There's proof enough for them to say, well, whatever. Once again, it goes back to it's he say, she say. Like, I mean, he asked for it. You said no, and that was it. So in terms of the Deshaun Watson situation with the girl, so I think the big thing in what you're seeing the difference is, one, it's the fact that it was a question asked about some extra favors. She said no, and it's the he say, she say versus there was a lot of physicality in the situation with Trevor Bauer and the girl that he was messing with.
Do you think the reason the NFL has not levied a suspension on Deshaun Watson yet is because they're just waiting for more people to come out, perhaps? Because, he was eligible to play last year. He was not suspended by the NFL. And I do think they have to make a decision, but let's just say they suspended him a month ago or 2 months ago, and then 23 comes out, 24 comes out. Do you think they're trying to see if 25, 26, 27 come out?
I don't think it's the numbers that they're waiting for. I think they're waiting to be saved by that one girl that comes out that wants to brave the situation and say something so heinous that he did. Say something so I don't want to say crazy because it's not crazy at all, but something so disgusting, something so heinous, like she's the one where, she's the one where he went over the line. He didn't just ask for it. He did something like, there's a family show, so I don't want to go into that, but do something heinous to that girl, on that girl, if you see where I'm going with this, touch or something. They're waiting for it to be saved. They're waiting to not have to make the decision, because right now, as it stands, and the reason why they're taking so long, it's almost getting to a point where I don't know if they're going to suspend him at all. And that's why I think they're waiting to be saved. Because they know the decision that they make is going to have ramifications on both sides. Whether they say 6 games, whether they say a year, whether they say no game, somebody's going to be pissed off, and somebody's going to turn to Twitter, and somebody's going to turn to CNN, and somebody's going to turn to MSNBC or Woodward Sports Network. You know what I'm saying? Ching ching. But they're waiting to be saved in the matter. They're waiting for that one smoking gun, as we call it, where it's like, oh no, hell no. This one gives us permission to void the deal for the Cleveland Browns. This gives us the permission to actually fully suspend Deshaun Watson, and there will be some legal ramifications for him. I think that's what they're waiting on, and I'm almost to the point. He might not get suspended a game, and I think that's what's taking so long.
Let's put that Pro Football Talk tweet up there, Fletch, the one that says they might be able to void this deal.
Yeah, here's no, that's the Ari Mayrov. Here it is. Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio. The fact that Deshaun Watson was sued on Monday by a person whose name wasn't previously known to his legal team could create multiple problems for Watson, including a possible, and the key word here is possible, void of his many millions in guaranteed money. Because this is under the presumption, this contract, this fully guaranteed contract, is under the presumption that nobody knew was coming out. Nobody. We have A, B, C, D, E, X, Y, Z. We have these people. We don't have these people over here. We know about these people. Who are these people? If these people come out, you're done.
We'll see. Lawyers know what they're doing, right?
And then there's the ever-going saga of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Who?
He's in purgatory.
Excused from Browns minicamp this week. I don't know. I don't even know. Even if they suspend Watson for the year or for a lifetime, he can't play for the. He cannot play for the Browns.
Case Keenum's their backup quarterback.
No, he's gone.
Not Case Keenum.
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby
He cannot play for the Browns ever again. Forced to trade at that point. Right?
That's still taken.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation with Baker Mayfield. I think now the Browns are probably waiting for a situation where somebody gets hurt. Maybe they deal him through the season, because injuries happen all the time. And I knock on wood. I don't want anyone to get injured going to the preseason, going into the training camp this year. Injuries happen all the time. Early on in the season, you got game 1, game 2. I think at this point, that's what you see the Browns waiting for, because they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to eat that contract, which is $18.8 million. I want to say they don't want to pay half that contract. They don't want to take a deal. They don't want to just let him go for free. So I think what you're going to see with them, they sit, they wait, which is not fair at all to Baker Mayfield. Now, I'm going to take a stance for Baker, which I've said in this regard. They really botched this whole the Browns have botched up the last 2 years, if you want to be honest.
Yeah.
Whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's Baker Mayfield, whether it's other cases, the whole situation with Hugh Jackson, just a couple other cases. But with this one, they let him play last year. They let him play. They let themselves listen to him, ask to play, as opposed to them being the franchise, as opposed to them being the one with the doctors and opposed with the experience, saying, hey, you know what, Baker? No, we appreciate you wanting to play. We appreciate you being that guy, but we're going to sit you down. The season's not going that way. We're going to sit you down on your labor. They should have set him down a long time ago. Now they're in a position where they can't trade him. Because they made him look like this player that you shouldn't want. They made him look like this guy that's immature. They made him look like this guy that's all about himself. You know what I'm saying? He's done that to himself too. They've put him, or they've helped him even be worse than he was in this situation. The Cleveland Browns should be ashamed of themselves, to be honest. They've effed this young man over, if you get my drift.
I can't wait to see where he lands, and I know he's going to be a winner again. I know it.
I wonder what this does to a team too, like the Browns, right? I mean,
they got to be a wreck,
going through all this turmoil. You don't know who's going to throw you the ball. You don't know. You got this guy, and then some people just might not like the way he treats women. You know, you might have a teammate that just doesn't like that. Yeah. You know, grew up
teammates'
around
wives.
Or your teammates' wives, not like that. So I mean, there's a lot of.
But once again, it goes back to ask the question: like a teammate's wife to get mad. What are you mad at? Have you asked Deshaun Watson what happened in those rooms? And that's where we get right back to square one. What really happened? What happened in that room? Because if you're mad at, I think he's he's scum and blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, excuse me, Mrs. Garrett. I'm just giving up a name.
Right.
Miss Garrett, Miss Miles Garrett. Why don't you like Deshaun Watson?
Facts of life, Miss
Because he's
Garrett, that
nasty. He did this, that. What did he do? Well, you heard what they said. No, I didn't. What did they say he did? Well, said he was inappropriate. How was he inappropriate? He asked for something extra with a massage, a massage treatment with an unlicensed massage therapist. Give me a break. That's where you see everybody keeps coming back to the same point. It's like, damn, well, what did he do? Can y'all tell us what he did?
Guys, mini camps going on out there all across the NFL. And the head coach of the Washington Commanders, Jack Del Rio.
Here we go.
Really, you'll hear this a lot. Defensive coordinator, excuse me. You will hear this a lot today on probably not only sports shows, but national talk shows, national news outlets. We'll have for you what Jack Del Rio had to say about January 6th, the insurrection. Oh, my goodness. We'll have it for you next.
Why he's talking about that at minicamp, I don't know.
Why? But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, take a good look at this guy. Take a good look at yours truly. Right here, before the show, saw my girl Becca at the world headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, 15 in Woodward in the great city of Birmingham, Michigan. Over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. It is so simple. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down, you get the King's treatment, a precision haircut. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee! Lady Jane's open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Walk inside. Come on in. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Odds Trader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. Begin your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com for play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking down. Odds Traders from the App Store today. For all your favorite comparative sports, for all your games, for all your teams, go to oddstraders.com. They will give you the best bet for the best money. Go to oddstraders.com.
Hey, you know what you never did?
What's that?
What we never did?
What?
We never said who the defectors were.
Yeah, we did. Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Reed, didn't we?
Oh, we brought it up?
Yeah, we did, because I mentioned that Patrick.
How did I miss that? And Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler's leaving too?
Yep.
Well, it makes sense that he will leave because he can't win any majors. Like Ricky Fowler is.
He looks good in orange, though.
Ricky Fowler is the best Friday, Saturday golfer, and he is abysmal on Sunday and Monday.
You do wonder what's going to happen to the Rocket Mortgage Classic, a PGA Tour event where your biggest names that came here, Ricky Fowler, Bryson DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed. Now, Phil Mickelson came last year, but that is almost all of the big names that came through Detroit.
I disagree because golf is at an all-time high in terms of star power in the field. Like, you just named a couple guys. There's still Patrick Cantlay. There's still Billy Horschel. There's still Xander Schauffele. There's still Justin Thomas. There's still you still have Tiger Woods still playing. He announced that he's playing next month. So you still have a ton of star power. This isn't like when Tiger first started playing back in 97, 98, where it was him versus David Duval or him versus Phil Mickelson. There's so much star power on that tour. You lose Bryson DeChambeau, you still get Brooks Koepka. You know what I'm saying? You lose a Patrick Reed, you still have Justin Thomas, you still have Tiger Woods, you still have Justin Rose, you still have a ton of golfers. So I think the Rocket Mortgage and Dan Gilbert will be just fine.
You know what I'd love? I'd pay to see this. I'd pay to see Phil Mickelson win the Masters and have to go to sit in Butler cabin and get interviewed. I just would love to see something like that happen. I'm rooting for him.
Scheffler is the new number one in the world. So Scheffler's, you still got a lot of good golf, a ton of good golfers left in that field. But to your point, they are defecting like crazy. So we'll see what conversation we're having in a week.
Going to talk about Jack Del Rio here, but just quick side note on Del Rio. Every time I hear the name Del Rio, I think of the scene in Rocky 1 when he's sitting in the back of Gazzo's car. And he says, "Hey yo, how do you spell Del Rio? Hey yo, how do you spell Del Rio? We quit doing the figuring, Rock. Let me do the figuring. Let me do the figuring."
I don't remember the Del Rio name.
How do you spell Del Rio? Quit doing the figuring. Let me do the figuring.
Whenever I think of Del Rio, I think about the 70s.
What do you think of?
That was a little pornography humor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Vanessa Del Rio.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Everybody knows.
How do you not remember that?
There you go. I didn't know she was the blood sister of Felicia Rashad as well as Debbie Allen.
Are you kidding?
Once you see it, you can't
Yes,
see it.
you're right.
They're
I'm
blood
picturing you right
sisters.
now. Get out
All
of my
three
head,
of them.
Vanessa. Get out of my head.
So here's the backstory today, and you're going to see, if you watch sports, if you listen to sports, you're going to hear this everywhere, on every talk show, on everything, and it's probably going to get national news headlines today as well. Jack Del Rio, the defensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders, very outspoken on politics on his Twitter feed. He is, without question, a right-leaning person, which is fine. Everybody's got their beliefs. I'm not here to condemn or agree or disagree or whatever. This is not my role here. But Jack Del Rio tweeted on Monday to this Norm Eisen. I've never heard of Norm Eisen, but he seems like a very serious person. That's my new line, too, a very serious person.
Any relation to Rich Eisen?
No, I don't know. So here's the tweet from Norm Eisen. As the January 6th committee hearings draw near, we must understand the whole story of January 6th. In our new Brookings government report, we offer a guide including potential federal and state criminal charges for Trump and his allies. So Del Rio replies to that tweet. Would love to understand the whole story about why the summer of riots, looting, burning, and the destruction of personal property is never discussed, but this is. # common sense.
What's the summer? Are we talking about L.A. in the 90s?
Talking about the George Floyd Black Lives Matter protest. That's what he's referring to there. So he was asked about that at OTAs today. He was asked about his tweet on Monday. Here's his response.
I just asked a simple question. Really, let's get right down to it. What did I ask? A simple question. Why are we not looking into those things? If we're going to talk about it, why are we not looking into those things? Because it's kind of hard for me to say. I can realistically look at it. I see the images on TV. People's livelihoods are being destroyed. Businesses are being burned down. No problem. And then we have a dust-up at the Capitol. Well, there's nothing burned down. And we're not going to talk about, we're going to make that a major deal. I just think it's kind of two standards. And if we apply the same standard and we're going to be reasonable with each other, let's have a discussion. That's all.
Here's the deal. I have no idea why people choose to talk about this stuff.
A dust-up?
It just... And I hate it because, and I probably am wrong. Everybody's got their right to speak on what they believe in. I come to sports for an escape. I come to sports because the world sucks. I come to sports because my life is hard, or my life sucks, or I hate my job, or I hate my kids, or I hate my friends, or I hate anything. I hate when politics goes into sports. Now, I know that's an old school way to think. And I know everybody's got their causes and everybody's got their things that they want to raise up to the forefront. But it's divisive on each side. We are so divided politically. I just hate it. I don't like it at all. Now we can pick apart what he says. You can agree with it. You can disagree with it. I just hate that we're not talking football. He should be talking football. He should be tweeting about football. I hate it.
You know what? I'm not even gonna justify his comments and give this white man the time of day. I can't believe he would sit his old ass up there and make those comments that the Capitol was a dust up. Before I even get into what happened necessarily with Black Lives Matter and these riots and fires that I definitely did not see, because every Black Matter movement, the BLM movement around that time were all peaceful. We did one in front in Harts Plaza, which our own Joy Bell was down there as a part of as well. But before I do all that, a dust up. They attacked the Capitol.
That was embarrassing.
With guns, beating up people. An individual died. Beat the hell out of a couple security guards that was there with flashlights. That's a dust up. That's your that's your opinion of what a dust up is. I can only imagine if the people that stormed the Capitol. Let's say Barack Obama had lost. The second time, and let's say some black people wanted to go do the same thing that those guys did, everybody would have been shot on sight. And you guys know I'm telling the truth. It's not a black or white thing. It's just the goddamn truth. They would have been shot on sight. A dust up. Stick to football. Leave the politics alone. I understand that you're in Washington D.C. I understand you might need to make yourself feel better. Stick to football.
It's just unnecessary for me.
Because it does stuff like this. Yeah, now we're having this conversation. Yeah. Now you get it. Now it's more division.
Yeah. I'm not even going to comment on the word. I'm not like you. I mean, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on it because it's not productive. There's nothing that I say against or for that is going to change anybody's mind. Everybody's mind is made up.
By the way, at the end of the day, comparing two different entities. One entity was Trump losing the election, which led to the Capitol storming. He lost an election. Which was voted on by the country. He lost fair and square.
It's debatable by some.
Okay, well,
I'm kidding. I'm trying to be funny. And it's not.
All right, change the subject. I'm fucking pissed off.
I'm just trying to be funny.
Meanwhile, they're having protests about people getting murdered.
Right.
It's two different things.
Tigers won.
Yeah, they did. I was waiting for the game to be over, actually, to comment on that.
They swept the Pirates.
I was actually waiting. I mean, I don't know, probably not an appropriate time for a joke, but I'm so sick of how divided everybody is, and this doesn't help the Del Rio. How do you spell Del Rio? FOOTBALL. Football, man. Just please. All of it.
Just shut up.
It's just too much. Tigers did win. I want to get into some Tigers talk if we could next, because there has been a gem that we have just found. And his name is Alex Faedo.
Exactly.
And I want to talk about his ascension next. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
26 locations, of course, folks, and more on the way. One right down the street on Woodward here in Birmingham. So make sure you get down there. And if you join the Pepper Club at Chili Peppers Tanning, you'll get the best deals. Plus, they'll beat all competitors by $5 for unlimited tanning. Chili Peppers Tanning, the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. Check it out for more information. It's chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, you know who it is. It's time for Big Boy. It's Maz. Strawberry Fest is back, and it's better than ever at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry breakfast, the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffles. If you're not feeling breakfast, a little lunch or dinner, how about the strawberry bacon chicken wrap? The chicken wrap itself, the nacho wrap, the strawberry salad, and when you're ready for dessert, it's a berry delicious dessert. It's strawberry pie. How about that? It's $1.99 with any purchase of $7.99 or more at a participating Big Boy location.
Yo, just to clean up, I apologize if I used some language that wasn't appropriate for anybody listening about the situation, but it just really, it ticks me off. And the reason why it ticks me off is because when incidents like this happen, when you get comments like this, whether it's someone says it, on ESPN or NBC or whatever, and then they take it to social media and Twitter and the various places where you can go to have comments, and like this show, like Woodward Sports Network, and like our shows here, all of our shows, like all it does is create more division. Like, we don't need more division in the world. To what Ryan was saying, like, all it does is create division. Now we're sitting here talking about Jack Del Rio and the comments that he made. And now you create division within each other, within political parties, within black and white. We don't need more division in this world. Comments like this and things like this are nothing more than the devil. So don't let the devil in. Stick together.
Absolutely, guys. Speaking of sticking together, Alex Faedo has helped keep this staff together and this team together a little bit. Alex Faedo, 5 innings today, gave up 1 run and struck out 7. Alex Faedo did not get the win today, but nonetheless,
as usual,
5 innings, 7 runs. Or excuse me, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. This guy has been fantastic. 6 starts, just 11 earned runs in 6 starts. I'm not sure you can ask for anything more than this guy. And probably if Mize doesn't get hurt, if they don't have all of the injuries to their starting pitchings and starting staff, we probably don't even find Alex Faedo.
Yeah, 100%. You've had a ton of pitchers in that last draft class 3 years ago that were drafted that were injured, trying to work through injuries. So you're still trying to find pitchers, and in the process, you found Alex Faedo. I was listening to Dan Dickerson on the way in, who does a tremendous job. Listening to him on the way in, I think after 2 innings, Alex Faedo had 4 strikeouts. He was 6 up, 6 down, and 4 strikeouts, and that was after 2 innings. So he has definitely been the pitching as a whole has been a bright spot. We were talking about Scooble earlier. It's just a bright spot for the pitching. Got to get some bats, man, some consistent bats. Like Fletch just said in there, Daz Cameron is coming on, so maybe he could be a bright spot for the Detroit Tigers.
2 for 4 today for Daz Cameron, but just again with Faedo, and I forgot what the stat is, but he is the first rookie in a long time. I think only one other player in the history of baseball has started his first 5 games with pitching at least 5 or more innings in each of those starts and allowing 2 earned runs or fewer in those first 5 starts. I believe he's on a list of 2 to have done that.
Pretty good.
And now he made it again, make it 6 for 6, where he goes at least 5 innings or more and allows 2 unearned runs or fewer. This kid is really an incredible find for the Detroit Tigers.
And the Tigers now 10 under 500. And some more good news coming up. They get to come home. They get to play the Jays, though, one of the best teams in the game. From what I'm understanding, and I think Rogelio told me the other day, Rogelio Castillo, our Tigers insider, there's a good chance that you might see Riley Green up with the big club. And how would you like to have Riley Green in center field and then Austin Meadows in the corner, and not too shabby? The outfield is starting to pick up steam.
Yeah, so Riley Green apparently could be up on Friday.
Yep, had a good night last night. So did the rest of the Tigers down below. Robbie Grossman's another guy that could come back. So you got Grossman in one corner, you got Riley Green in the middle, and you got Austin Meadows in the other corner. It's a pretty good outfield. Daz Cameron coming in off the bench. The Castro boys.
Austin Meadows 0 for 4 yesterday, but came back today 2 for 4
He's gonna
today.
hit.
That's really good.
He's going to hit.
And I don't want to be negative. I don't at all.
Then don't do it.
Baez is a problem.
Not Baez. I don't even want to talk about Baez. I want Cody Clemens to get off the schneid quickly.
Well, he can't hit, man.
0 for 12 since being up. I just get one hit.
He can't hit.
Once he breaks once he gets one hit.
I hope so.
He's putting the bat on the ball. I saw two
Once
of the hits.
he gets one hit,
I saw
man.
2 of the hits today. If he would have been in a different park, I want to say his second hit today. If he would have been in PNC Park,
Second at bat.
Yeah, his second at bat. If he wouldn't have been in PNC Park or Comerica, it would have been a nice hit and could have been had a chance to go out. You know, those parks are both very similar when you're dealing with left center field. They're tough places to hit the ball. What do you think about the Tigers, man? I know that's your team, Fletch.
I'm feeling pretty good. Obviously, coming back from New York, it's kind of easy to be like, well, this team sucks. But win today, I was normally we have it on in the studio, but we don't have it on today. So I'm like sitting here with my phone in my little booth watching the game. And while these guys were talking, especially while they were getting a little amped up in this last segment I'm watching, and I will be negative here. I can't stand watching Gregory Soto on the mound to close. I can't do it. It's scary to see. I've seen him borderline or even actually throw away multiple games this season because he could get 2 outs and then let runners on. He walks batters. He gives up hits. I don't think he knows where the ball's going when he throws it. And you go from having a good game to having a very, very sad game in the bottom of the 9th or in the top of the 9th because he can't do his job.
Well, he did it today, and we'll give him credit for that.
I'll give him that. He won today.
Absolutely.
Close.
But 10 games under 5. The Baez thing, I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
0 for 4 today, 3 strikeouts.
And a double play.
When he did put the bat on the ball.
That's good.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Javier Baez, and I was telling Maz, and once again, this comes from a place of noviceness. I mean, I know baseball, but not necessarily, all that level. But I do know this: Baez is one of those rare guys that he's like a Mookie Betts in terms of his window of opportunity in terms of where he hits the ball is everywhere. It's low, it's the midsection, it's the chest, it's high. It's on the other side of the plate. It's on his side. It's inside. He can hit the ball anywhere. So I think when batters like that go into a slump, when batters like that get into a slump, it's harder for those guys to get out because it's not like they're waiting for a specific pitch or it's one pitch that's their nemesis. They can hit anything. And so when you're in a slump like that, you're swinging at everything. And right now, Javi Baez, he can't seem to lay off those doggone sliders. What do you think about that, Sam?
For the record, Braylon, I don't think you should ever mention Javier Baez and Mookie Betts in the same sentence. I know what you're saying, but Javier Baez this year, I'm about to say something strong. He is the worst baseball player in the major leagues right now who is an everyday player and actually gets playing time. And Mookie Betts is a superstar. But, Braylon, I understand what you're saying, but, man, Javier Baez, he, makes my blood boil right now. I can't stand that guy. He's horrible.
Weren't you just trashing Ben Wallace last week?
I was.
Okay, you shut your mic off.
Well, it just goes to show you just how desperate the Tigers are for a bat, how desperate they are for a superstar, and you think you have one. And look, this is not the month of April, where you're getting off. The first 3 weeks, you're getting off to a poor start, whatever the case may be. You're playing in a cold weather city. Right. This is April. This is May. Now we're into June. Got to figure it out, man. He's batting 200, which means 8 out of every 10 at-bats results in an out. Gerald Laird was doing that back in 08. I mean, Gerald Laird probably could come back and hit 200 in the major leagues. I mean, it's disgusting. And maybe the contract got to him, or maybe he's just the player that he was. He's not as protected in the Tigers lineup as he was when he had Rizzo and Bryant and Contreras.
Protection. Zero.
I know, but we always talk about that. Mel Kiper talked about that during the NFL draft. How do you evaluate these Georgia players on defense? Because they're playing with 11 first-round picks on defense. How do you, and maybe you could equate that to free agency in baseball. How do you equate the shortstop class? Trevor Story has been miserable in Boston.
He's much better now.
Not much better now, but has started miserable. Correa, now injured,
horrible,
but was really bad. Baez, miserable. When you got all these Schwarber and Rizzo and Bryant and Contreras protecting you in the lineup, you're a much different hitter. You come here, not so much. I don't know if this gets better this season. I hope it does, but you always wonder if water finds its level.
He hasn't been the same since he got injured. Since he injured his finger. Remember Game 2?
Yeah.
I mean, he had the game-winning hit in the opener, and the second game he had a couple of RBIs as well and a home run. He has not been the same player since that day. Who knows? Maybe there's something wrong with him.
Well, there's something wrong with him. He better fix it because they're paying him an awful lot of money to fix it. The Tigers will be off tomorrow before the rare off day for the Tigers. Rare off day for the Tigers before they come home to play the Blue Jays. 10-game homestand, I do believe, if my memory serves correct. All right, we're going to take a break. You good?
No, I'm good. I was over here. He had me looking at Javi Baez versus Mookie over the past 7 years. So.
Mookie. Yeah, look at that Dodgers lineup. I mean, everybody protected 1 through 9. The 9-hitter on the Dodgers could probably hit cleanup here. We'll be back with Maz's videos of the days, but first a message from Cintron.
That's right. Summer Cintron is here. Summer of everything is here, but with Cintron, it is a little bit different because now in select Kroger locations, go to CintronWorld.com, CintronWorld.com. Find out where these select locations are because you can get the energy drink. That's right, my favorite thing, the cranberry energy drink, the classic, and the sugar-free one. 2 for $4. They're regularly $3.50 a pop. These things are good. Proud partners with the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Red Wings. Go to your Kroger right now. Get Cintron World. Let them be part of the memories. I know I do. You should too. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live. All right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Final segment of the program. I cannot believe this. I did not work the television station today. This one job thing. Holy Toledo. You guys got it made. You guys come in here all leisurely.
I've been waiting for you.
Oh my God.
I've been waiting for you to only have to work this one day and then have that response. And I tell you what, I knew it was coming.
It's like not even working.
I knew it
the
was
one
coming.
job.
It isn't.
Guys are unbelievable. Maz gives me the
Maz
finger.
has never worked. No, Maz works a lot harder than I do. So.
Yeah, Maz probably works harder than all of us put together, actually. But I got to give you got to bust your balls a little bit, don't I?
I guess you do. I think you did earlier today when you said
yes, you did.
I was the 63rd guy on the sports guy and at a 60.
I knew.
I thought that was the end.
I knew he wasn't going to let that go.
Man, I love it. I forgot I said that until you just
That's fine.
Beautifully reminded me.
I can have it.
Time of the day, we like to play
Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Just for being one of those guys today, busting my hump today, Ryan.
Yep.
I'm going to start you guys off with a classic from back in the day. Remember I told you about Ryan on the zip line from back in the day?
Oh, geez.
Here's Ryan Ermanni back in the day. Braylon, I need you to pay attention to this one.
Turnabout is fair play.
Oh, you found it.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this.
Oh my God. So extra. You know how to milk something. That thing was perfectly safe. It wasn't that high.
Well, I'm afraid of heights. I do not like that.
All right, but you made more noise when you got on the ground almost.
Oh, I was so happy.
Let me hear those noises again. I got to hear those noises one more time.
Just stop it.
Really?
Just stop it.
He played it again, too.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh my God.
Up yours.
Oh, jeez.
It came back on right.
This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this.
God, this is 7 years ago, man.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Those noises.
I still feel like the new kid on the block, but I've been around for a minute.
You have.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
This is true.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
Yeah, when you're working working with news, you work with channels, you work for a very long time.
A long time. Love you long time.
Here's one from Lions OTAs in a little slow-mo. No music behind it. So it's Jared Goff to DJ Chark. We got to talk over because there's nothing really to talk about. But look at this. Look at that.
Oh, underthrow.
Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful spiral.
Where's Tua?
It's Chark. There he is. Look at that.
Now, who is that? DJ Chark?
DJ Chark.
We're at 4, huh?
I like that.
Jason, I'm sorry.
Here we
4
go.
should be retired.
Here we go again.
Jason Hanson.
Jason Hanson should be retired. 4 should be retired.
Why does he want to wear a kicker's number?
Well, I mean, because they're technically not kickers.
It wasn't a kicker number back then.
When,
or back then it was.
Well, yeah, I mean,
single digits.
Well, they just changed this 2 years ago. So.
I'm just saying.
If you came back, would you wear the 1?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah, I wear
Just
1. Like
double check.
1's my number. Like you see the board back there when it's up there. Like 1 was the identity I chose, man, and it chose me. So
Ryan's sounds are triggering the porn comments because
We're getting a lot of porn. Oh, look at it. There's a ton of them again.
Ton of it.
I can't stop them.
Unstoppable. Unstoppable.
All right. Remember yesterday I played you Tom Brady in his underwear?
Yes.
Well, here's Tom Brady at picture day for the Buccaneers yesterday.
Does he have his underwear on again?
No.
What's up, Bucs fans? We're here back at minicamp, picture day, getting our things right for the year. So we're all excited. We're working hard. We got a long way to go. It's just the beginning, but thanks for your support, and we'll see you soon. When it's live, we're getting closer, one day at a time. Here we go.
Ooh-wee.
Such a golly gee kind of guy. I don't think that's going to work in the booth. He is an golly gee kind of guy.
But I also think he's an intelligent guy when he knows how to turn that on for the NFL, which is very chill, very family oriented. Like he has that level. I mean, you saw Tequila Tom 1942'd up. Like he definitely knows how to change and switch it up and be different.
No doubt. I agree. I just so many times it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
He ain't gonna talking that golly gee stuff when he's in that booth.
Golly gee,
you will hear them 7 rings come out from time to time.
Right.
We'll see.
He'll be ring dropping.
I do like Greg Bowe with.
Stop it with Greg Olsen.
I like Greg Olsen.
Greg.
Anyway, you'll see.
Greg.
You'll see. Here's one from the NBA Finals. Y'all talk about Draymond Green being such a jerk and all.
Jerk.
But he can be very complimentary too.
Draymond Green is intelligent, man.
Check it out.
Hey Draymond, Tom Mazawey from Clutch Points. We were just talking to Clay, and Clay said that whenever he has a bad shooting night, he kind of YouTubes Game 6 Clay. That's his thing. I was curious, have you been around him when he does that at all? And do you have like a Game 7 Draymond that you YouTube whenever you have a bad game or something like that?
I see your name, and I saw last night where you pointed out, or maybe 2 days ago, where you pointed out that there was a question I was asked about Kevin Durant, and that's why I mentioned him. So I want to say thank you for your honesty and for your duty to this job. I know the world that we live in now is all about clickbait, and people will cut the question off so that they can try to make it appear as if I'm just up here talking about Kevin Durant like I don't have anything else better to do with my life. So I want to say I appreciate you, and just upholding the integrity of media, because when I speak about the new media, that's what I'm speaking about. The integrity of this business has been lost, and bringing that integrity back to this business. So I want to say thank you on your work. That was incredible, and I appreciate that.
There you go.
Pretty cool.
Draymond.
That's great.
I love that. I sent it in. I said, you know what? I said, I often talk about Draymond a lot. I said, so I saw this. I said, you know what? I'm going to send it in for us to talk about it. It was something dope. He's one of those intelligent guys, man. He's one of the guys. I mean, people don't like guys like him when they're not on their team.
Yeah,
like
that's a fun part about sports.
It's a fun part of sports. Like, you hate him because he's not on your team. Like if you weren't a Knicks fan, you probably don't like Charles Oakley. Probably don't like Anthony Mason. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a Warriors guy, probably don't like Draymond
Hate
Green.
Bill Laimbeer,
Dennis Rodman. If you weren't on one of the teams he played for, those guys like that, they're not on your team. You don't like them. It just is what it is.
Totally agree.
How about did you guys ever play the game? It's called First Drink, Last Drink.
No, but I love this now. I will never play it.
You won't, huh?
But I do like it.
Well, they did this First Drink, Last Drink at this wedding. I think it was obviously in London. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Trev. This is my first drink. I am Trev, the groom, and this is my last drink.
Hi, I'm Holly. This is my first drink. Oh, sorry. Where am I going? My name is Holly. This is my last drink of the night.
Hi, my name is Simon, and this is my first drink. It's not really. This is Simon, and this is my last drink.
I'm Neve. This is my first drink.
I'm Neve, cheese bridesmaid, and this is my last drink.
Cheese bridesmaid?
Cheese bridesmaid.
Have you got a cheese board?
I'm chief bridesmaid.
Cheese. I'm Lucas, this is my first drink.
I'm Lewis, this is my first drink.
Go.
I'm Lewis, and this is my last drink.
Go. Hi, I'm the bride, and this is my first drink.
You did the first drink, didn't you? First drink video.
I'm Nicola. I'm the bride.
Yes, go on.
I'm the bride.
She like,
is my mic off? Oh.
She looks like the mom now.
You a hooker?
She went from
I
like.
thought I was doing good with you.
She went from like looking like the young bride to the mom.
Oh, mama.
Like,
They don't age very well.
Man, you talking about the span of a couple of hours, man. She went from like
end of the
24
night.
First drink, last drink.
we gotta play that.
Oh my God.
We gotta play that. I'm down.
This poor thing.
I'm down.
Dang.
How about that bridesmaid?
Braylon, get us out of here. I think I've done enough today.
First drink, last drink. We're definitely gonna have to try to play it, man. Another fun show, man. We were able to talk about different topics. We were able to talk about politics, sports. We were able to talk about porn in the '70s. It's just that kind of show as Woodward Sports. You never know where we're going. You never know where the hell we're going. Another great show out of you, Sam. Fletch. Tigers win it. That's all we need to know. Tigers won. They sweep the Pirates. So let's end on that. Maz, Ermanni, I'm Edwards. This is the bottom line.
Gotta be Ryan going out here. Yeah.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop.
Go.
All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God.
Go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh my God.